Welcome to today's video lesson. The first thing that you want to do is be sure you've clicked this link, which is probably below your video. Of course, you want to be logged into your Scratch account so that you can find this remix button and take a second to click that remix so that you can save your changes on your own version of this program. Quick tour of the program, you should see this nice lady on her broomstick in the creepy forest. Basically, all she does over and over and over again is she listens to up arrow and down arrow. She will move up and down appropriately. She also, there are some scary bats that are out to get this nice lady. You will hear, or she will hear when she hits a bat, because the bat will tell her that, with a secret broadcast message. When she receives the message that she has run into a bat, she plays a song and the game is over. So if you want to take it on a quick tour, this is how it looks. Now, what we would love to do today is make this game last a little longer. We want to give her 3 lives. So you have 3 chances. You know, you hit a bat, then you get to try again, you hit another bat, blah, blah, blah. So much more like a normal video game. Now, the thing is, she has a lot of code in her brain, and all of this code in her brain is telling her what to do. Do this, do this, do this, right? It's all bossing her around. But she does not have any way to remember how many lives she has. So all these blocks of code are just instructions saying what to do, but none of them help her to remember. So we're going to give her a memory. And the way we're going to give her a memory is we are going to create a variable. So over here in the orange, you want to click on variables and look for this button that says make a variable. In yesterday's lesson, we learned that we could use a variable to do a score. Today, we are going to use a variable to keep track of her lives. So we might hide this eventually, but basically it's going to show you this is her memory, where she's always putting how many lives she has and she's storing that right there. Now, the thing that we want to do is we want those lives to decrease anytime that she hits a bat. So here we go, where it says when I receive hit bat, in her brain, the sound is still fine. We do not want the game to be over. So let's break this off and let's just kind of move him out of the way. We may use him again later, but we'll get him out of the way. What we want here is when she has hit a bat, she needs to make a change in how many lives she has left. Set means I don't care what number you had in there before, I want it to be a specific number now, and it ignores whatever you had before. That is not what we want for this instance. We want to change her lives. So make sure that you have picked lives in that drop down, the change block, and right now it says change lives by 1. Now, if I were to do this, this is really keeping score, right? Every time she hits a bat, that the lives go up by 1, but that is the opposite of what we want. We want the lives to go down. So instead of changing the lives by 1, we want to change the lives by -1. Now watch this. When I stop, the next time I run the game, she still has -3 lives from the game before. So that's no bueno. We got to fix that. So what I would say is up here where the game is starting, this is the point where I want to set the number of lives. So what I'm going to say is I don't care anything about how many lives you had in the last game. I don't even care what number is right there. I want you to throw it out and put a 3 in there. So set will throw out whatever number you have here, and change will take that number, make an adjustment, and change it. But let's pause real quick. Take a second to be sure that you have your set block and your change lives block. Okay, so you've got caught up, you have your set block and your change block. Now we want this game to eventually end. And so I really hate a forever loop. Forever blocks kind of annoy me because I don't really want to do anything forever, right? There's nothing that I want to do forever, especially play this game. So this forever block, in my opinion, is kind of a lie. I don't want her to be listening to me and flying up and down forever. So what I would like for her to do is I would like for her to play this game until she's out of lives, right? So here we go. I'm going to pick up the meat of this sandwich, of this forever sandwich, and I'm going to move it over to the side for right now, because this forever sandwich is not the kind of sandwich that I want. Over here in the control, I don't want her to play forever. I don't want her to fly up and down 10 times, right? Because I don't know how many times she's going to have to do this. I want her to keep going until it's time to stop. So I'm going to take this forever sandwich and toss it in the trash. I'm going to replace that with a repeat until, and then I'm going to put the sandwich back inside the bun there, or feed it back to the dinosaur, however you want to think about that. So I want this game to keep going until what? Until what happens? Until she is out of lives. So to do that, let's go over to the green operators. Let's grab that equals block, and notice it fits right there. And let's go back to our variables. Let's pick up lives. And I do not want her to play until her lives are equal to 50. I want her to play until her lives are equal to 0. Now, the great thing is that with this repeat until, I can then put things down here. Like I can attach more code after I'm done repeating. So eventually that lives will become 0, which will force this loop to end, and it will put her right here. And so what do I want to happen when she's done repeating and her lives are 0? I want to broadcast game over. So she keeps flying up and down, up and down, up and down, listening to your keys. Eventually, when her lives are 0, she will stop repeating that and just tell everybody the game is over. So let's take a second to pause and be sure that you have your repeat until loop and a broadcast game over after that loop is complete. Once you have that, then let's test your game to make sure it works appropriately. Okay, right now we have a great functioning game, and it has lives and ends appropriately. The one thing that we need now is we want to pretty this up just a little bit. So here we have our 3 hearts going on, and we haven't mentioned that yet, but notice it's its own sprite down here in the bottom. So if I click on that, then I can see the brain, which is pretty empty right now. I can also take a look at the costumes. Now look how awesome this is. It has a costume for different setups: 3 hearts, 2 hearts, 1 heart, 0 hearts. All we want to do to make this look prettier is if we can have this thing switch his costume when it is time. So we already have most of this code ready to roll, because inside the brain of the bat is always, always, always saying, hey, am I touching the witch? And anytime a bat touches this lady on her broomstick, it will send out this message that there has been a collision. And of course, the witch listens for that and does some things. So all we need to do now is also have the hearts sprite respond to that message. So take a second and go into the hearts brain for me. And super easy, all we have to say is, when I receive that message that a bat has been hit, all I need to do is switch to my next costume. So when the game begins, it switches to all 3 hearts, and then every time a bat is hit, it just moves to the next costume. So let's give that a try. Perfect. Now I'm playing the game totally backwards because I'm aiming for the bats. When you're playing the game, you really want to be dodging those. So this is really a dodge game, so you should be trying not to hit them instead of trying to hit them like I was just doing. So congratulations, you have just used a variable to help her remember how many lives she has. She changes it in the appropriate way, and then she will look in there to determine when it's time to stop playing the game. Take this game, make it more your own, add some more sounds, and also try to make the game harder or easier. So you might go in and adjust how fast the bats move, or you may make the witch move slower, you may add more costumes. Take this game and make it your own.